Well, you can see we're hard at work here with Pond World Incorporated, and we are now moved on to planting because we got to get landscaping as well. That's part of your business. You do everything from start to finish.
Yes, A to Z.
A to Z. So what are we planting here this morning?
Right here we have the wetland area of the pond. So what happens is the pumping station's down at that end, sends the water up here, and it upwells through this rock and river stone that we've installed here. So this wetland, what it is the filter of the pond.
Okay.
And so the plants, as excess nutrient comes up from the pond, the plants pull that nutrient out of the water because they want that nutrient to live on.
Okay.
And so when you have a pond that is nutrient poor old algae has nothing to eat.
Okay.
And so when algae has nothing to eat, you don't get any in your pond. So your water stays nice and clear, and you don't get anything, any problem, things like algae. So it's a very, very natural way to keep water very nice and clear.
There's a lot of science behind this pond as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of science, but we try to keep it simple for the customers so that they understand it. But in time, everybody understands how a basic wetland works. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this one right here.
Okay.
This is my really favorite marginal water plant. So marginal water plants are plants that live on the margin and not too deep water, as opposed to a water lily or other types of plants that live out in the deep water. This one, Marsh Marigold, flowers yellow before tulips in the spring.
So very early on then.
Very, very early. This little fella has already done its thing. You can see the blooms are already up and gone.
Okay.
But we're going to put it in here so that next spring, whenever the spring breaks, literally when the ice goes off the pond, this will be green and starting to grow.
Wow.
It's an amazing, amazing plant. So here in the wetland, very, very simple. I'm going to put it down there, and then you are just going to take a little bit of the gravel and just push it around the roots of the pond, and that's it. That is all there is to it.
That is quite easy and simple. Even I think I could handle this kind of planting.
The easiest gardening in the world.
No kidding.
And no need to add water.
Yeah, I guess the water comes up, right?
That's right. Now the other one we have over here, this one is called Variegated Flag.
Okay.
And Variegated Flag is also a marginal plant. It doesn't really flower, but you notice it's got beautiful foliage, green and yellow foliage. And it just likes to be right on the top of the surface. Okay. Like a lot like an iris. It's kind of almost in the iris family. So that one, we just put it there.
And it'll survive in that?
It survives right there if you just put a little bit. I'm going to hold the plant.
Okay, and rocks over it again?
Yeah, and just put a little bit of rocks over that root that's right there.
And where do you get all these rocks?
These rocks are from local suppliers in the area here. They're actually mining for this size of rock. Okay. Because this is actually what people put around their gardens, you know, basic river stone. Yeah. And when they're mining for this, they also find little ones, and so they separate them out, and they also find great big ones, and so they separate them out. So, so in these quarries, you find all different sizes, and that's what we use in our ponds. Everything from a little rock like this to a monster half the size of a car.
Wow, and we have one last plant to plant here?
This one here, very, very interesting plant. This is called Arrowhead, and you can see, it looks like a little arrow right there. Now it's suffering a little right now because we've had it out of the water, but it will none the worse for wear. See the little bulb that grows from? Okay. It likes to be in moving water. Okay, so you got to put them in the center. Yeah, I'll just grab this one, put this one in, just like that. Absolutely easy to do, and this one will multiply.
Really?
Yeah.
So it'll just grow automatically?
It'll grow automatically, and then when there are too many of them, you just pull them out because they're not really an invasive plant. Okay. When you don't want any more than this, you just pull them out. And they'll stop. They'll stop. Cool. Into the compost. All right, when we come back, we're going to put the turn this all on and make the waterfall go. So stay with us. Lots more to come here with Pond World Incorporated on CTV Morning Live.